Welcome everybody back into two guys in navy blue shirts and white nerd sesh hats. As always, I'm Carson Bradburn. Alongside me is Logan Camden, and today we are going to be doing a good old-fashioned trivia time. If you've been looking for your trivia fix, we have been doing the trivia gauntlets where we have our friend Peyton host and Logan and I go head-to-head. Those have been on our YouTube page. We're going to start posting them to the podcast feed as well going forward, but there's a few of those you can catch up on if you haven't. But today we're going the old-fashioned. I come up with 10 NFL questions for Logan. He does the same for me with the NBA. It's going to be a blast. Logan, what's the first question today?
Well, first, I just want to go on the record and say I will be avenging my 4 Trivia Gauntlet losses. I currently stand at 0-4,
All right, man.
but I will get them back.
Yeah, I told you, you're on your John Elway arc. You gotta reach rock bottom. Sometimes rock bottom can be a trampoline, Logan. And at the end of the day, you're going to be on top of the mountain.
God, you're a philosopher, man.
I
That
know.
was a freaking banger.
I just came up with that. It's never been said.
Off the dome piece. I'm on my Joe Cap and Fran Tarkenton arc, man.
No. You're on your John Elway arc.
Dude,
Logan, there is a high coming.
Dude, it's okay to be Fran Tarkenton, man. He was ahead of his time. He was a great quarterback. Just on the biggest stages, he faltered a little bit, man.
Do you want that to be your legacy?
You know what? I really didn't think that analogy through before it came out of my mouth. Anyway, also, Carson and I did coordinate our outfits today. We wanted to twin like it was the first day of school, like Greg Heffley and Rowley. So you're welcome, guys.
I'm Greg.
And I'm Rowley.
Yeah.
Carson has the cheese touch. Okay.
And I'm Joshy. No, I'm actually Joshy.
Oh, dude, I'm so jealous. I have a poster of you in my room, actually.
Yeah, and you're Chirag Gupta.
Carson, traditionally when we do these trivia times, they are assorted questions throughout NBA history, but today I actually have a theme for all of my questions. We are amidst two of the greatest rookie seasons of this century, that being by Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren in the NBA. So all of my questions are themed around these two gentlemen and rookies. So I've got 5 questions about Wemby, I've got 4 questions about Chet, and then 1 where they both intersect. So without further ado, Carson, we're going to start with the Wemby portion of the trivia. Can you name every top 3 pick in San Antonio Spurs franchise history?
Ooh, okay. Are we counting ABA here, or is this just the NBA years?
We are not. It is just NBA.
Okay. So there's not going to be very many, because the Spurs have been pretty consistently good. They don't really bottom out throughout their franchise history, except for, of course, the year that they get Duncan at number 1 in 97, and when they get David Robinson number 1 in 87, and Wemby last year, number 1. Outside of that, I'm thinking through the 80s.
I'll tip you off, Carson. You actually only do have one more gentleman, and he is sandwiched between Robinson and Duncan.
Sandwiched between the two of them. Is it Sean Elliott?
It is Sean Elliott. Good pull, dude.
Let's go. Arizona legend. I mean, dude, that's kind of crazy to have damn near 50 years with 4 top 3 picks. Shout out to the Spurs. Well, Logan, I've got a top 3 pick themed question for you too, actually. And I have also chosen a theme for this episode. A significant majority of the questions are about the NFL draft because it's Combine Week, so it's on our minds. And this year, it is widely expected that the top 3 picks will all be quarterbacks. It's not guaranteed, obviously, but there are certainly strong rumors about that. Can you name the 3 other times that has happened? All 3 quarterbacks have gone in the top 3 since the merger.
Oh, this is a gnarly question.
Yeah. It's gnarly.
1998 is where my brain first goes, but I don't... 1998 and honestly 1999 are both drafts that my mind goes to because 98 you have Peyton and then you have Leaf, but I don't think the 3rd overall pick was a quarterback. Am I right? It's not 1998?
You're right. It's not 1998. 3rd overall that year was Andre Wadsworth.
And then 1999 is Tim Couch and Donovan McNabb back-to-back, but I don't think the 3rd overall pick in that draft is a quarterback. Am I right? Ooh. So I may have identified one of them. We have Tim Couch, we have Donovan McNabb, and then we have...
This guy was not so
good.
Not so good.
Maybe there's a reason they don't talk about this guy in the 99 draft.
You know him, though. 5 touchdowns to 13 picks in his career.
In his career?
Yeah, he didn't stick around long.
And he went 3rd overall. Oh my gosh. How long did this guy last in the league?
Only until 2002. Really only started in 99 and 2000.
Cade McNown.
3-14 record. Ooh, it's not McNown. That is a
I
good
think
thought. McNown is in this draft class. He went 12th. This guy, I think, is more memorable because he's such a bust.
Oh, is this it's not, is it a Houston quarterback? Is it
No.
Houston had a pair of busts early in this. It's a little late for the bust Heath Schuler.
Correct. This guy was a Pac-12 quarterback.
Cal, ASU, U of A.
Unfortunately, the Pac-12 no longer exists. And his school would produce another memorable bust, also at the 3rd pick, just a few years later.
So you're talking about Joey Harrington. It's the Oregon QB before Joey Harrington.
Correct.
Oh, is this, I was going to say Jim Miller. Oregon QB. You have...
Jim Miller, shout out, led the Bears to an 11-2 record in 2001 somehow.
Shout out Jim Miller. I might have to come back to this one.
Okay.
Are there any post 2000?
There's one.
Oh, is it 2018?
Not 2018.
It's not Baker Darnold. No, it would have been Baker Darnold, and then
Josh was next off the board.
2012 is Luck Griffin. I don't think it's a 3rd quarterback there.
I thought about doing all the years that it was just the top 2 guys.
That would have been a ton.
There's a lot, and I think they're all pretty memorable. It's interesting, those years where it's just like 1, 2. The 3rd is rare.
I might have to go. You've got Eli and Phil, but I don't think that's a draft class. You have Alex Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Jason Campbell. Sorry for going through all the mental gymnastics here, people. But
it's more recent.
It's
more recent.
Is it more recent than even 2018?
It is, actually.
What?
Now Logan is going to say, I don't know it.
No, it's impossible now. Now that we've reached that 5-year mark, I got to wait for the data to process. T-Law, Zach Wilson. T-Law, Zach Wilson. Who's the 3rd guy?
Downloading. Still downloading.
I got to get the update, man.
This guy, you actually have seen in person.
What?
Yeah, unless my memory fails me.
It's not
Kyler.
Kyler.
I'm pretty sure.
Not Kyler Murray, is it? Oh, Trey Lance. It's Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
We did see him in person.
One of the 2 games Trey Lance has actually played. Logan and I were there.
That's actually
against
really
the Cardinals.
Cool. Dude, I've seen some weird QB battles. The QB battles that I've seen in person, it was Trey Lance and Kyler, right? Then I saw Kyler and Duck Hodges. And I've seen Browns, Robert Griffin III, and Landry Jones go head-to-head.
Landry Jones.
Those are my QB battles. Okay, so we've identified one. We have 1999.
And the other one is really tough. I'm not going to lie. I just kind of had it included in the question.
It's not 84, is it?
It's not, and it's not 83 with Elway and all those dogs.
That was the class I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because NBA, the all-timer is 84. NFL, the all-timer is 83. You can get them mixed up.
Pre-99.
Yeah, way pre-99. I don't expect you to get that one. It's more just a fun fact I'll throw in. If you can remember the 3rd guy in 99, you've effectively gotten the question.
I got to get the Oregon guy, man. This guy only played for one team.
He only played for one team. Yep.
Because he was not that good.
A team that actually would have a number 1 overall pick and take a quarterback not too long after this. Within 5 years.
Damn, I'm just thinking about Chris Chandler right now. Chris Chandler was old as shit by 99. Is it a Falcons QB?
No.
Oh, it's Akili Smith.
It's Akili Smith. There you go. And then do you want the combination of guys in 71?
That conglomerate. Is Joe Ferguson one of them?
It's not Joe Ferguson.
Dan Pastorini.
What the hell? Okay, he's the hardest one to get. Do you know who was number 1 that year?
Is it Terry?
It's not Terry. It's the year after Terry.
Were either of these guys any good?
Yeah, one of them actually a Super Bowl MVP.
Staubach. Kenny Stabler.
That's close. How could that be close, you may be wondering?
It's not LaMonica, is it?
Oh, come on, dude.
You're teasing me. Oh, it's Plunkett.
It's Plunkett.
Plunkett, Passerini,
And then the last guy in a family of quarterbacks.
Archie.
Archie,
Let's
you go.
Bruh.
There you go.
Let's go. You know what, man? You know what they say? A little bit better late than never. I'm hyped with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Carson, I am really excited because this is such a smorgasbord of weirdos. Carson, Can you name every NBA player ever who was 7'4" or taller and played at least 100 NBA minutes?
Let's go, dude. Let me get Chuck Nevin.
The human victory cigar.
Let me get Rick Smits.
Yes, sir.
Let me get Yao Ming and George Mirasan and Manute Bol.
Mm-hmm.
At least 100 NBA minutes. Did Taco Fall get there?
Yes, he did.
Taco did get there. Oh, this is just a massive human being. Priest Lauderdale?
Oh, toughest name on the list, yes.
Let's go. Okay. Ralph Sampson, I haven't said.
Yes.
Who else? Sean Bradley?
I mean, it is cake from here on out.
How many more dudes are there even?
3 guys.
Okay, well, Wemby, I haven't officially named.
2 guys, one a multi-time block champ.
Oh, Mark Eaton.
Bang. And then the last guy is an active player, Carson. I believe the heaviest gentleman in the league.
Boban.
Bang.
Boom. Easy money. Wow, that's fun. Yeah, that's a real mark of delineation once you get up to 7'4". There's not a lot of dudes.
We got to give an honorable mention, too, to Simbalar, of course.
I know. I thought about him, but I was like, I think he's only played in 3 NBA games, but God, was he a unit. All right, Logan, I love this question. Quarterbacks are coming into the league older and older with everything that we're seeing with the transfer portal and the extra year for COVID that all these guys have been afforded. Can you name me the 5 oldest quarterbacks drafted since 2000?
I love this question. I love this question so much.
Yeah.
I think the 2 oldest are going to be Brandon Weeden and Chris Weinke.
Both over 28 years old.
What's interesting to me is that the Browns still bought in on Weeden, even though he was 28 in the first round, and the fact that, like, Weeden went and played, like, minor league baseball, man. I think Chris Weinke followed that same arc. I think he might have played minor league ball, too.
Yeah. You got the arm.
What
Interestingly, post-1986, Logan, I saw a list. Kenny is one of the 5 oldest first-rounders. And I'm just thinking, like, those records are going to be broken because he was only 23 and a half or something. Now you have dudes like Penix and all these guys are so much older. So you have to be at least 25 when you were drafted.
I wonder if Sam Hartman's going to make this list. He's pretty old. Veteran guys, traditionally...
Sam Hartman will not quite make it, but he'll be close.
Hendon Hooker here?
Hendon Hooker should be here. That's my bad because he didn't throw a pass. He wasn't counted on this list initially. So he actually just boots another guy from last year's draft class.
Who is that guy?
That was, it makes a lot of sense to think about the college that he went to. That's what I'll give you. The one
Army
college,
or Navy? Or like...
well, those make sense too. What's the other one? And
Air
I'm trying
Force?
to get you here because it'll help you get another answer. No, not just the branches of the military. What else could take multiple years before you actually start attending college?
Is it BYU?
BYU, yeah.
Wow, it's not Zach Wilson, is it? Because you have to do your mission.
Again,
trip.
it was this year. It was this year. You
Oh,
know this
Jaron
guy.
Hall.
Jaron Hall. So Jaron Hall now gets booted for Hendon Hooker, and hopefully there's nobody else whose stat had left off this list.
Oldest. Do we have any first-round picks remaining?
No.
Okay.
But you have another guy who the Jaron Hall hint applies to. That's why I was trying to get you there.
BYU quarterback. Post.
Wow, this guy
2000.
From Hayward, went to high school in Mountain View. Shout
Arizona?
out to the Bay and shout out to Arizona. Yeah, no, Mountain View in Arizona.
UQB. Sorry, can you give me the year this guy was drafted?
This guy was drafted in 2007. He's not the easiest. The one remaining, I'm sure all of the viewers are going to be like, this dude's the first person they thought of because it's such a meme, his age. But again, you just download things at different speeds.
Stetson Bennett.
So now you're just down to the BYU boy.
I can't believe he wasn't the first guy off the dome. 07 is an interesting class because it's one of the greatest draft classes in NFL history when you think about the talent that came in. The likes of Jake Long, Adrian Peterson, Calvin Johnson Jr., I think Darrell Revis comes. It's a
Patrick Willis.
It's a
acknowledged Patrick Willis.
Class.
Yeah, it is.
What round did this guy go in?
Second.
Wow. Oh, is this? It's not Brian Brom, is it? No, Brom's 08 out of Louisville.
It's not Brian Brom.
Oh, it's no, that's not gonna be right either. I was gonna say Chad Henne. Chad Henne was a second-round draft pick out of Michigan, though.
Oh, it's an interesting thought. Chad Henne might get you on the right trajectory. This guy is a rando, but you know him because you're like that.
Chad Henne.
Also,
Tyler Thigpen.
It's not Tyler Thigpen. Oh, also, I think that was Jake Long the 08 draft. Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay.
07, you do have Joe Thomas, though, and you have Calvin Johnson.
That was the tackle. Adrian Peterson.
You have Marshawn. Ridiculous.
Yeah. I was thinking of another great tackle.
Paul Posluszny. Kevin Cobb, Eric Weddle,
Kevin Cobb,
Sidney Rice, Lamar Woodley.
Why would Chad Henne?
Justin Durant.
Why would Chad Henne help me? Is his name Chad?
No.
Chad Henne might get me there.
I like how there's always two things when we say they have this in common that you think of. It's name and it's
team.
Mm-hmm. So that's the one.
Henne was drafted by Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not Pat White. Pat White went to Western Virginia.
It's not Pat White. A bit formal, Western Virginia.
Yeah, I don't know why I said
drop
Western
the urn.
Virginia.
It's because you don't acknowledge this as its own state. Let's be real. You're a Virginia supremacist.
I don't like how that sounds.
All right.
Oh my gosh, Miami. Okay, it's not Thigpen. It's not. Oh, it's John freaking Beck.
It's John Beck, baby.
John freaking Beck, man. Good.
3
question,
touchdowns
Carson.
to 7 picks in his career. 0-7 record. Unfortunately, he could never get a win as the starter. Poor guy.
Good hint, man. Okay, Carson. We just recently did a rookie draft, so you might know some of these off the top of the dome. I need you to tell me the only rookies in NBA history to average 20, 10, and 3, a stat line of that. So 20 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, and 3 assists per game.
Oh, I was thinking 3 blocks. Okay. 3 assists per game is going to open up the opportunities here because then we can go back. They only started tracking blocks in 74. So, that being said, some of the great early rookie bigs, Wilt Chamberlain did not pass the ball. Elvin Hayes did not pass the ball. David Robinson, I bet, will be here.
David Robinson actually isn't on here, surprisingly.
Wow. Is Blake Griffin on here?
Blake isn't either. Honestly, Carson, everybody 1980 or before.
Oh, my God. Everybody? I was going to guess Tim Duncan up next, but no, I'm hearing.
And actually, I have mistakenly, I might have to redo my question. I accidentally typed in 4 assists per game, so we will see if there are any additional names.
Okay.
There are additional names. Blake Griffin is one of them, so he is here.
Okay. But Duncan is not.
Duncan is not.
Well, Wemby is. Okay. Elgin Baylor, I think, will be here.
Yes, he is.
Oscar Robertson did not quite average 10 boards a game as a rookie. He was very close. Oh, he did?
It's Oscar is here. Big O.
Wow, so it was assists where he fell just short of the triple-double as a rookie.
Big O
Interesting.
was, yeah, man. That's what a ridiculous stat line. 31,
Ridiculous.
10, and 9.7, man.
Okay. So now I'm thinking about some of the other centers like Ewing, Akeem. I don't think the passing is there for either one.
You have one center and I believe 3 power forwards.
Do we get Bob Pettit on this list?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Other power forwards. Yeah, we have been talking about good rookie seasons recently. We don't get Sidney Wicks here, do we?
Yes, you do. That is by far the toughest name on the list, Carson. And now just remaining 2 of the greatest rookies of all time.
Okay. Sidney Wicks, dude, came in the league, getting buckets, didn't mean anything. The Blazers honestly have such a fascinating franchise history. Sidney Wicks, Jeff Petrie, Sam Bowie, Greg Oden. There's just a lot of interesting sort of what-if kind of dudes. Bill Walton, obviously. Okay. A couple of the best rookies ever. And we've got one power forward and one center left out there.
This guy you wouldn't think of as a power forward, but his rookie season was listed as a power forward.
Is it Bob McAdoo? It's not Bob McAdoo.
Not Bob.
Would I think of him as being a center or a small forward? Oh, it's Larry Bird. Larry Bird.
It is Larry Bird.
Yeah.
And you just have arguably the greatest player of all time left. Kareem.
Yeah. Duh. Kareem came into the league already a playmaking 5. That's a good list. All right. Well, speaking of Kareem, Logan, if you can believe it or not, he is involved in my next question. We're going to take a draft intermission, and you're going to tell me which of these names does not have both an NFL and NBA representative. There's only one that does not have somebody in both leagues. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Thomas Jones, Mike Evans, Keith Van Horn, and Matt Ryan.
Okay, we can immediately eliminate Matt Ryan, Boston College quarterback, Falcons quarterback, and damn, did Matt Ryan, did he go to Boston College too? I don't know where he went, but he's a sharpshooter for the Pelicans.
He went to Notre Dame.
So we can eliminate Matt Ryan. We can also eliminate Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I believe different spellings, but Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a running back.
That's right, but spellings, I should have clarified, do not have to be identical.
Mike Evans, I will eliminate. That's a really common name. But I know you, and I wonder if you also threw that in there because it's a basic name, and I would think there has to be a basketball counterpart. So we have Mike Evans, we have Keith Van Horn, which is freaking weird, man. And then, what was the last name?
Thomas Jones, your boy.
Damn, that's what makes this tough, is Thomas Jones and Mike Evans are really common names. I'm going to say Keith Van Horn has a counter. I can't imagine that you throw him in there. It's just such a weird name.
But have you considered that I'm a sick fuck?
I like a quick...
Oh, come on now.
I'm going to say...
No more Lil Pump references.
You know what, man? I'm going to say Mike Evans.
Final answer.
Do you want me to millionaire strat? Do I got to switch it up?
No, I should have accepted that. I don't know why. You said Mike Evans, and then I just kind of sat there for a
Evans.
second. It's not Mike Evans. Actually, there is a Nuggets guard from the 80s named Mike Evans, and if you can believe it, there's actually a member of the 85 Bears named Keith Van Horn. He spells his last name with an E on the end, but he was a tackle there. Bears fans will know, certainly, from 81 to 93, he started that whole time. Remarkably, there has never been a Thomas Jones or even a Tom Jones in NBA history.
That's such a common name, man.
Such a common name.
Thomas is going out of style, man. We need more kids named Thomas, dude.
I know, but the league has been around since the 40s. There wasn't a BAA player for the Providence Steamrollers named Tom Jones. I couldn't believe that.
That is a ridiculous fact, but good question. Carson, we are sticking with the Wemby theme. You're coming down to my 2 final Wemby questions. I need you to tell me a top 10 list, the most stocks per game by a rookie.
Wow. Number 1 is going to be David Robinson.
It is. 5.6.
Number 2 is going to be Manute Bol.
Yes, 5.3, the only gentleman to surpass 5.
Ridiculous. Okay, Mark Eaton will be up here.
Mark Eaton is tied for 8th.
Victor Wembanyama will be up here.
Is 4.6. He is one of 4 gentlemen to be over 4.
Okay. I think that Hakeem will be here once we involve the steals.
Hakeem is tied for 5th with 3.9.
Does Patrick Ewing get here?
Patrick Ewing is one of the first gentlemen off the list, I believe.
Okay. Tim Duncan, does he get here by any chance?
Tim Duncan does not. Not a bad guess.
Okay, is Alonzo Mourning here?
Zoe is here at 3.8.
All right. I'm inclined to take a bold switch in strategy just for a moment, just to have a little bit of fun. Does Alvin Robertson get here?
I do not recommend making a switch in strategy.
All right, I guess we're just going to stick with the bigs. I was just kind of like, I don't know, it'd be fun to see if anybody could get there on the back of the steals.
Wow,
like highest guy. There's a lot of steals as a rookie.
The highest guy up here that is a non-big, you've got Ron Harper, Andrei Kirilenko, and Michael Jordan.
I was thinking about guessing MJ.
Tim Duncan is in the top 25, and I want to give a big shout-out to Chet Holmgren, who is also in the top 25.
Got to give a shout-out. Does Anthony Davis get here?
AD does not. Let's see what Anthony Davis is doing this
He was a
year.
great defensive rookie. I'm thinking about other recent dudes. Dwight wouldn't be here.
Yeah, AD his rookie year was averaging 3 per game, so he would be just outside.
Do we get Tree Rollins here on the back of blocks?
That's such a good guess, dude. Tree Rollins is one of the first guys off.
Damn, okay.
So
you're missing other great shot blockers first.
Yeah, 2 of the biggest physical outliers. Honestly, 3.
Ralph Sampson.
No, not Ralph Sampson,
Sean Bradley.
Sean Bradley, 3.9, another great physical outlier.
Shaq. I haven't guessed Shaq.
Shaq is another one, and you have one more massive physical outlier here.
Shaq averaged 3.5 blocks a game as a rookie. That was an obvious one.
Or no, you already got Mark Eden. My fault.
Yeah, I did.
You've already got Mark Eden. So you have the 2 strangest names on the list. One guy I've never heard you say.
Okay, can I throw someone out there? I don't really know how good he was as a rookie, but he was a prolific shot blocker. Is Benoit Benjamin here?
I didn't know you knew that guy's name. I want you to probably put that in your back pocket for later. He's not on this list, but that's a really good guess. Him and Tree Rollins are next to each other on here.
Damn. Yeah,
so,
he was an insane shot blocker.
I didn't know this because I thought this guy was a big man. I just assumed it. This guy's actually a small forward, the guy that I've never heard you say before.
Ooh, that's really interesting.
His name is alliterative. It starts with the same letter. He averaged 1.3 steals per game and 2.5 blocks per game.
Absolute stud. And what era did he play in?
He debuted in 1978.
Okay, well, that's a great draft class. We got Purvis Short in there. We got Michael Thompson in there. We got Otis Birdsong in there.
Let's see where this guy was drafted. And then you have one more guy in the past decade. He was touted as one of the greatest defensive prospects ever.
Okay, let's just leave it at that. I was about to guess someone crazy. I'm not.
You should. I mean, he's not. He didn't live up to. He's a
that
really.
made me think of Karl Anthony Towns. But it's not Karl Anthony Towns.
He shares something in common with Cat.
Does he really? Perhaps somebody who played for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
No. Maybe a little before that. Where did Cat play before the T-Wolves?
Oh, I see. Okay, so we got a Kentucky boy.
And then this guy, the guy with the alliterative name, was the first pick in the second round of the 78 draft, 23rd overall. A Detroit boy through and through. Went to high school in Detroit, went to college at Detroit Mercy, was born in Detroit, and was drafted by the Pistons.
Okay, all right.
I've never heard you say this guy's name. I've never heard of him before.
Did he have a good career after this rookie year?
A really good role player. Career averages of 10 points, 5 boards, and 1.5 blocks per game, 1 steal per game. Played for Detroit until 85, then played for the Kings and the Mavericks before leaving to go play overseas in Italy.
Really interesting.
Not really anything that stands out. A Detroit boy who was a good role player and could lock up, could play great defense. The other guy you should get, though, the Kentucky big man. Wasn't ever a good offensive player, but was a defensive playmaker.
Is it Nerlens Noel?
It's Nerlens Noel.
He really was hyped up as a defensive prospect, yeah.
3.7 in his rookie year, man. Averaged 1.8 steals, 1.9 blocks.
And then this last guy.
So, Carson, I don't want this to confuse you, and ignore it if it throws you off a little bit. This guy shares a very, very similar name to a bench player for the Bulls currently. Used to play for the Pacers, is now with the Bulls. He's only played in 20 games this year and has only played 7 minutes per game, but his name is super similar.
Okay. Interesting.
And you know what, man? I'll even give you the letters. T. T is the alliterative part. Start first.
Terry Tyler.
You're the freaking man, dude. Yes.
Let's go. Wow. That is insane that he is on this list. That man is among some fine company. All right, let's go. That fires me up. Logan, we're back to the draft for you. Can you name the 5 first-round quarterbacks who Washington, who will very likely be selecting a quarterback again in this draft with the number 2 pick, has selected in the Super Bowl era?
Let's run it. Robert Griffin III.
Yep.
Jason Campbell.
Yep.
Heath Schuler. Joe Theismann.
Not Theismann.
Okay,
Schuler is actually the oldest.
No way. I wasn't sure of when Theismann was drafted. So
he was actually a 4th rounder.
Shout out. Schuler's the farthest back.
He is.
Is there anybody in between Schuler and Campbell?
There's one.
That might be the toughest on this list.
And you're also missing the most recent guy on this list.
Sam Howell wasn't a first rounder, was he?
It's not Howell.
Oh, Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins, rest in peace.
So one guy to go in between Schuler and Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
90s or 2000s?
Early 2000s.
Gus Frerotte went in the same draft as Schuler, right?
That's correct. 7th rounder in that draft.
Is it? It's not Patrick Ramsey, is it?
It is Patrick Ramsey. Let's go.
Dude.
Clean that up.
Fire me up, man. All right, Carson, we're going to go on to my final Wemby question before we get the joint Wemby and Holmgren question. Currently, Victor Wembanyama leads the NBA in blocks per game with 3.3. Can you name the only other rookie in NBA history to lead the NBA in blocks per game?
Yeah, it has to be Manute.
It is Manute Bol. It is a very simple question. It is just absurd to look through NBA history, man, because you've got a lot of great shot blocking bigs who posted absurd numbers, but they just overlap with some of the greatest shot blockers ever. David Robinson averages 3.9. Zoe and Shaq averaged 3.5 in 93 and don't lead. But yeah, Manute Bol, the only one ever other than Wemby to do it.
It's crazy. You know what I'm so excited for with Wemby is he's going to average 4 blocks a game. Like, that's just a stat line that doesn't exist in the last 15 years. Who was the last guy to do that, I wonder? Like, since the days of the Dikembes, and even Theo Ratliff got up that high, but Dwight never averaged 4 a game, and Dwight was the best shot blocker in the league throughout the entire mid-late 2000s. Ben Wallace didn't do it.
I'm getting my stat team on it.
Who was the last guy to average 4 blocks a game?
Are you sure Ben Wallace didn't do it?
Maybe he did.
No, it's Dikembe at 4.5 in 1996, man.
Hasn't happened this century. Oh, wow, so Theo didn't do it, but Theo Ratliff definitely got very, very close. That's awesome. That excites me because it just doesn't happen anymore. Guys don't play 40-something minutes like they used to. Wemby could average 5 blocks a game. And as someone who appreciates the historical context behind these stats, that really excites me. All right, Logan. Caleb Williams will likely be the number 1 overall pick this year, having transferred in college from Oklahoma to USC to follow his guy Lincoln Riley. Can you name the last 5 number 1 overall picks who transferred in college?
Let's do it. I got to think that Baker Mayfield is going to be here.
Baker Mayfield is here.
I got to think that Troy Aikman is going to be here.
Ooh, Troy Aikman is actually the oldest on this list.
So we have identified our parameters. It is 1990 to 2018. Everybody else is going to be in between there. That's interesting too that both Aikman transferred from Oklahoma, like Jalen Hurts transferred to Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield transferred to Oklahoma,
Caleb, and
there's no way there's another guy. Okay, well let's do the.
There's another Lincoln Riley guy.
Joe Burrow transferred.
Joe Burrow did transfer.
So he's here. Is he the most recent?
Joe Burrow is actually the most recent, and I'm realizing that Troy Aikman is actually the first guy off this list. Pardon me.
That's tough. R.I.P. Bozo. So do we have any more 90s guys?
You have one 90s guy, and I'm counting community college transfers.
Cam Newton, Glenn College.
Cam Newton is here, yep.
So you've got 3 guys, 2 more to go.
2 to go.
Why am I? No. I know for a fact Jeff George went to Illinois, and I'm pretty sure only Illinois. So get off of Jeff George, buddy.
Get off of Jeff George, dude. It's not going to help you.
Peyton just goes to Tennessee. Who are the other number 1s in the 90s? We've got Big Daddy Dan Wilkinson. I also think he's after Aikman, but I don't think it's him.
Big Daddy.
Kajana Carter goes to Penn State.
So for what it's worth, the guy in the 90s transferred from a community college.
Is it Keyshawn?
It's Keyshawn, yeah.
Good hint.
Bingo. Ended up at USC, started at West LA College.
So one guy in the mid-2000s.
No. More recent. I told you, it's a Lincoln Riley guy.
Sam Bradford.
That's not a Lincoln Riley guy, no.
So it's more recent than Cam.
Yeah.
Oh. Man, I'm not really big on college, so it doesn't really actually help me that much. Lincoln's coached at Oklahoma. He's coached at USC.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah. The theme of this list is Oklahoma. It's honestly pretty wild.
I mean, we've got Jared Goff, we've got Jameis Winston, we've got Andrew Luck, Eric Fisher. Oh my God, is it Kyler Murray?
It's Kyler Murray.
Man, I should have gotten that sooner, but that's an excellent question. Man, dude, the Oklahoma ties are... What is going on down there?
Dude, I mean, to be fair, most of that list is just Lincoln Riley sniping dudes. 3 of them, and then Aikman left Oklahoma. So shout out Lincoln Riley, bro. My goodness.
That's absurd. Carson, we are getting into a stretch of some of my favorite questions because, you know, we all talk about the historic anomaly that Victor Wembanyama is, but Chet Holmgren is also a historic rookie anomaly. And
yes,
granted, while he did miss his rookie season, I have a question about that, actually, that we will get into here in a minute. But he is a historic anomaly in the sense that he is a big man that can shoot the pill at an insane clip. So, Carson, I actually had to expand this list to 35%. I need you to tell me every rookie 7 foot or taller to shoot 35% or better from behind the arc because Chet Holmgren, believe it or not, he's the only one ever to shoot over 40% from behind the arc.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure, I think Chet's the only one to shoot over 36% from behind the arc. Like,
wow.
Even being remotely close to the number that Chet is at is ridiculous. Yeah, with a minimum attempts, what was my threshold? Minimum 53-point attempts in your rookie season.
Okay.
He's the only one to ever shoot better than 38% from behind the arc. So,
wow.
7 names, 7 foot or taller, 35% from behind the arc.
Okay, this is a really fun question. My first thought is Karl Anthony Towns.
Cat didn't do it, if you can believe it or not. I think Cat is listed at 6'11".
Oh, right. I forgot about the 7 foot. I was just thinking centers. My next thought was going to be Miles Turner.
No, Cat is
listed.
listed.
Doesn't work.
Cat is listed at 7 foot, but he only shot 34% his rookie year.
Damn. Okay.
Miles,
so
you do have a couple of weirdos too. Miles,
so the 7 foot is actually big. I bet we get Dirk Nowitzki here.
Not Dirk either, man.
No. Damn. I'm looking, obviously, in recent years.
Turner shot 21% from behind the arc. Dirk shot 20.6%.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, so you've got 4 guys that really make sense, and then you've got 2 weirdos.
All right. I'm just going to think about some of the premier guys in recent draft classes. But again, to be 7 foot doing it is super impressive.
There are 4 guys since 2016.
Yeah.
2 of them make sense. 2 of them are freaking weirdos, man.
Okay, interesting. Jokic isn't listed at 7 foot, so he's not going to be here. Embiid didn't shoot that well from 3 his rookie year, did he?
Embiid in his abbreviated season obviously misses his first 2 seasons in 31 games, shot 36.7%. Well, and there's an obvious one who this question is about.
Oh, Chet, I haven't said.
We'll knock Chet off. So you have Embiid and Chet. You have another rookie, Carson, with something in common with Embiid in the sense that he wasn't a true regular rookie.
Okay, I see. Gotcha. Let's think about other guys who either missed their year or came over older. Guys who came over from Europe, I could see also. All right. Let's think about some of the prominent dudes to do that in recent years, but you have to be 7 foot.
It's not recent, though. This guy's by far the biggest throwback on the list.
Oh, is it Arvydas?
Arvydas Sabonis.
Wow.
The only guy pre-2000. So remaining, you have a number 1 overall pick, and you have 3 guys since 2016.
All right. Let me just try to get these straight up.
I mean, we've reached you have 1 marksman and 3 weirdos.
Wow, really interesting. We're not going to get Ayton here, although he did show that he could shoot a little bit in college. God, I thought Ayton was going to be so good, dude. He was a tank, and he had shooting touch, and then it just turned out that he was soft and really not all that good. Okay. Bargnani?
Yes! Bargnani, dude. Bargnani
classic stretch big.
The number 1 overall pick. You've got...
All right, do we get Steve Novak on this list?
I mean, you're going to have to get a little weird. This guy did play for the Knicks briefly. He's now with another Eastern Conference team. He's the goofiest name on this list.
I don't think this guy was listed at 7 foot. It's not Keith Van Horn. I think he was 6'11".
No, and it's all more recent. All since 2016.
Right. We're all since 2016 now. I forgot. I was thinking about some throwback stretch bigs. Okay, let me try to get in my Duffy a little bit.
I mean, I
just thought about Mike Muscala.
Yeah, you know what? He's exactly like, dude, I want you to think about like the goofiest big man in the league today. The weirdest, goofiest guy who gets minutes
Luke
at the
Cornette?
five. Yes, it's Luke Cornette, man.
Bro, that should not have been such an effective hint. Poor Luke Cornette.
Dude, Luke Cornette.
Vanderbilt legend.
Luke Cornette had 3 put-back dunks against the Chicago Bulls the other night and then proceeded to dab. It was disgusting.
Yeah, that's insane. In the year 2024, that's actually a crime. I think that you can prosecute that.
Okay, so you've got a marksman, Carson, a guy who has an absolute heater on him,
Okay.
and a guy who was a really highly touted prospect. He was drafted in the top 10.
Okay.
He apparently has... There's no
Trying
way
to
this
think
is real.
about the recent classes. What were you gonna say?
His basketball reference page says he has 2 cousins who are in the league with the exact same name. That can't be right.
I think that that's probably a glitch.
Okay.
That would be insane.
Both
if
of these
true,
guys
but
are
I think that
foreign.
we would know about that.
These guys are both foreign players. This guy's somewhat of a bust.
I don't know. Is Dragan Bender here?
It's a weirdo like that. This guy's from South Sudan.
I don't think that you would have said somewhat of a bust, so that gives it away. It's Thon Maker.
Slon Maker.
Yeah.
Last guy, one of the easiest names probably on this list. Was not a prolific shooter as a rookie, but he is one of the best in the league today.
All right. Let me just think about who makes sense given that criteria. Who are the best shooting bigs in the league today? We know that it's not Cat. We know that it's not Jokic. We already talked about Embiid.
A real patriot,
KP.
this guy. Nope, not KP. That's a good guess. A real patriot, this guy.
A real patriot, but he's not American.
Yep.
So he's proud of his own nation.
That was a good hint.
really
That was a
good
good
shooting
hint, man. I'm going to pat myself on the back.
Does
Wow.
he share a name with a New England Patriot or something
No.
close to it?
No, this guy's a real patriot. This guy's a real patriot. He has served his country.
Oh my God. Really?
Yep, just this last offseason. KP, 33%.
Oh, it's Lowry.
It's Lauri Markkanen.
Lauri Markkanen. Oh, of course. He makes a bunch of sense. That's the thing. When I hear 7-footer, I always think centers. Lowry's closer to a 3 than a 5. All right. That's a fun list. That's a good question. Shout out to Chet, dude. What an absolute stud he is. We're going to take another intermission from the draft questions, Logan. I'm going to tell you a Lawrence Taylor story. You're going to tell me if it's real or if I just made it up. All right? He used to send prostitutes to opposing players' rooms to, quote, tire them out.
Oh, yeah, that's real.
Okay. He doesn't remember the day he was drafted because he drank 41 beers.
I can believe it, man. I'm going to say that's false, though.
That is actually true.
You're the man, LT. You're the man.
Well, he had a substance addiction problem, but he used to chew on glass.
No way.
You're saying that's false?
It's got to be.
That is actually true.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, he used to chew on glass. He showed up to a team meeting in erotic handcuffs because the prostitutes he called didn't bring the keys.
You know what? I kind of hope that's true. That's a baller story, man.
That is true.
Power
and finally, he pinned Bam Bam Bigelow during WrestleMania 11.
Ben knew. That's true, man.
Yeah.
All of those are true?
Yeah, there's like 30 more that I could have chosen from.
Dude, and people want to act like he's not the greatest defensive player of all time. That's what you don't get, man. To be a defensive
That's
great...
what seals him?
Dude, you gotta be nuts. You have to be a little certifiably think like Ray Lewis, like Brian Dawkins.
You
like
gotta
Ed
kill
Reed.
a guy.
Yeah, you know, you just gotta be a little crazy, man.
John Randall.
Yeah, John Henderson. Like, dude, to be a defensive player, to be a defensive all-time great, like, you gotta have a couple screws loose, man. And that's why I think T.J. Watt effectively is better than Myles Garrett, because T.J. Watt's just a little bit nuts, man, right?
Get in on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers who deposit $5 or more can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 back in a bonus bet.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code NERDS. New customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1,000 if your first bet loses. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code NERDS. The crown is yours. Carson, we're going to go back to the basketball questions.
Okay.
Chet Holmgren obviously missed his rookie year with an injury. So can you tell me every top 3 pick post-merger who never actually played in their real rookie season?
Everyone. Wow. Okay.
List is shorter than you'd expect.
All right. Well, let's think. I mean, there's some easy ones, right? Ben Simmons, Blake Griffin, and David Robinson, all number 1 picks, all rookies of the year who did not play in their conventional rookie season.
Yeah, and
Joel Embiid was the 3rd pick, who missed his first 2 seasons.
You only have 3 guys to go.
Only 3 guys to go.
And again,
okay.
One guy that this question is about.
Oh, yeah, Chet.
Chet, we're going to run it back. So Chet is here. 2 gentlemen to go.
2 gentlemen to go. Okay.
And one of these guys is really unique, Carson. I've never heard this before. This guy refused to play for the franchise. The team that drafted him, he said, I will not play for you. I'm going overseas. And he forced the team's hand to trade him the next offseason to another team.
That's really interesting. I wonder if I know that. I'm just thinking about some of the dudes whose careers got messed up really early. I'm thinking about Bobby Hurley and Jay Williams and Markelle Fultz.
You should. There is one guy that fits that criteria who you were quite fond of.
Who I'm quite fond of.
Yeah, you love this guy. Real what if, man. Guy.
And he didn't play his rookie year.
Travesty, man. He had his career stolen.
That's interesting. Well, tragically, Len Bias should kind of count on this list. He didn't play his rookie year.
Len Bias would be on the list. I felt
yeah,
I felt I should not include him.
That obviously makes sense. Okay, who's the guy who was robbed? I mean,
dude, he had his career stolen, man.
Oh my god. Greg Oden, bro.
Greg Oden.
Damn, dude, I got to write another song for him. I'm going to write another song soon, and it's going to be about Greg Oden and maybe about some of the other fallen soldiers, the what-ifs in NBA history.
Okay, Carson, this guy, a 2nd overall pick. And it made, you know what, man, I'll say it like this. It made sense that he didn't want to go to this team, man.
That's really interesting.
Poverty franchise. I understand completely why he wouldn't want to go play there.
Do not give me the year, obviously, but can I get a decade here?
Sandwiched between 2 of them.
Oh.
It intersects. There's an intersection. This guy would go on to win a championship. Not like he was like super meaningful or anything on the team, but he was there.
Bro at least showed up, and you know what? In life, that's half the battle. And this guy demanded a trade because an organization was so shitty.
Okay, you know what? We're going to do a thought exercise.
Makes me think of like the Clippers.
Oh, really?
Damn, who did they take? Who did they take? I'm thinking about the dudes who were there who they picked really high. Like Charles Smith was there, but he went in 88, 3rd overall.
I want you to think about I talked about how like Luke Cornett was super goofy. I just want you to imagine a goofy late 90s to early 2000s player. Just a goof.
Okay. That feels like that leaves the door open for a lot of dudes.
It's open for interpretation, but me and you have kind of had a few laughs about how goofy this guy looks on the court.
I'm just thinking about Paul McKeskey right now.
He is a goofy hooper.
Ferenc. Just thinking about big white dudes.
Yeah, this guy would go on to win a championship in the 2000s.
Oh, it's Danny Ferry.
It's Danny Ferry.
That's right, dude. I know that. He was drafted by the Clippers, but he played for the Cavs.
Yep.
I didn't realize, though, that he sat out his rookie year.
Went to Italy.
Okay. All right, Logan. This is an interesting one. Drake May will very likely become the 4th UNC player drafted 2nd overall since the merger. Can you name the other 3 players picked in that exact spot? Yeah. Yeah. Come on, say it. Go ahead.
Of course, I can't believe you asked a Mitch Trubisky question on the pod.
Yeah. He's there.
Mitch Trubisky. I'm sorry, a UNC quarterback taken at 2?
Speaking of Steelers quarterbacks and UNC quarterbacks, no, this does not have to be a quarterback. In fact, the other 2 players are not quarterbacks.
But just UNC at 2.
UNC at 2. Did you see that Kurt Benkert said that Drake May is Mason Rudolph with less arm talent and less accuracy?
Are you kidding me?
That's what he said.
I think that's a bad take. But also,
Yeah,
Mason
really
Rudolph is kind of that guy. So,
but also Mason Rudolph is the future of the Steelers franchise. So what can you really say?
I've said this, but I really hope they give him a shot, man. That boy's got God on his side, man. He's got that special.
He's been blessed by the Lord,
dude. I'm telling you,
he's had holy water rain down upon him.
That boy don't have fear because he puts his fear into God, man.
He doesn't have fear anymore since he hit Myles Garrett with a helmet. Now he realizes that he can use his helmet as a weapon, and that everybody around the league thinks he's insane, so they might not mess with him anymore.
UNC
There's another guy you could say was insane on this list.
Can you
another
give
guy
me
who we've talked about today, actually.
Did Lawrence Taylor go to
Lawrence Taylor went to UNC.
I didn't know that, man.
Yeah. And then you've got another guy who stayed in the great state of Carolina, also a defensive player.
A Tar Heel, Julius Peppers.
Julius Peppers. There you go. That's the list.
Good question.
That's the list. Nicely done.
Peppers, criminally underrated. The emphasis of this episode was to shine some light on...
Peppers like a Carolina Reaper.
Bar. Put that in the Greg Oden rap.
I see your ass in Minecraft. I call you a creeper.
Dude. Yeah!
Boy, you got the Kyrie 4s on. Those some goofy-ass sneakers.
I had to tuck them boys in. I felt like a sleeper.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, man.
My buddy Ethan actually plays in the Kyrie 4s. So that's a super personal shot.
I've heard those shoes are actually good hoop shoes.
Yeah, I believe it.
All right. The emphasis of this episode on my end was to shine some light on Chet because Wemby's taken a lot of his shine. And again, he's having a historic rookie campaign. Carson, Chet's averaging 17 points per game on 64% true shooting right now. It's the best true shooting ever. So the most efficient 15 points per game ever by a rookie. Can you name every rookie to average 15 points per game on 60% true shooting in NBA history?
And I love this question.
I've already marked off Chet on this list for you.
Okay. So we'll start there. Cat, again, I think of. He averaged 18 a game, and he was pretty damn efficient as a rookie.
Wow, dude. Cat is the fourth guy off of this list. It's a great guess. Damn. There are only 8 names.
All right. So if we don't have injury limits, then Zion is for sure here.
Yes.
And is Joel Embiid here?
Embiid is not. He was not that efficient, actually. He is the 5th, 6th, 7th guy off this list.
Okay. Ooh. I don't know if he ended last year at 15 a game. Is Jalen Williams here?
And I'm sorry, you actually have 7 names on this list because one of these bozos actually only played in 1 game.
Okay.
The boy J-Dub. Where is... That's a great guess, actually.
I think he might have finished just below 15.
I think he did.
But the efficiency was definitely close. I want to say he averaged 14.6 or something.
Let's see if Carson has nailed it spot on. He averaged 14.1 on 60.1 true shooting.
Yeah, he was super efficient for a rookie. I'm trying to think about other dudes who have made cases on the back of, like, efficiency. Walker Kessler last year, but he didn't score 15 a game. So
you have
60% true shooting has to be modern. Like, unless you have a dominant big back in the day. Oh, what about David Robinson?
I do think you should think like that. Carson, that criteria will help you here. Unfortunately, David Robinson's the first guy off this list. 59.7% true shooting. You are really painting the black right now, man. You were painting the corners, bruh.
I'm just thinking about really high efficiency scoring bigs.
So you've got 2 guys that don't fit that mold, but everybody else does. 2 of the big men.
Does Akeem get here?
Not Akeem. 2 throwback big men who are weirdos. They're not all-time greats. They just had good.
You know, Akeem actually wasn't the most efficient. All right, I'm gonna throw him out there. Bill Cartwright.
My man, Bill Cartwright is here. 60.8. I tried to give you a hint on a 5x5 video, and you said this guy instead.
You tried to give me a
The
hint.
Gary Coleman hint led you to this guy instead of the guy I wanted you to get to.
Oh, Buck Williams.
Buck Williams is here.
Wow.
Another one of the weirdos on this list. So you have a active big man who did this.
Okay.
Very highly touted prospect.
Damn. I was just thinking about the efficiency for a second there, and I was like, Nick Claxton. But no, you have to score 15 a game. That's pretty damn good. So let's think about some of the high-end big prospects in recent years. Jahlil Okafor was getting buckets, and he wasn't doing it that efficiently. Evan Mobley was not particularly efficient. Is it DeAndre Ayton?
It's DA.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, the last two guys, Carson, 70s to 80s, and they are not big men.
That is super impressive.
Yep.
Let me think.
One of these guys.
We don't get Michael Jordan, do we?
Michael Jordan is the third guy off this list.
Oh,
that's a great guess.
Still so impressive. 28 a game as a rookie in 1985, a rookie guard. Are you kidding me on that efficiency? That's ridiculous. We don't get Magic Johnson here, do we?
You do.
Yeah, Magic was so efficient, bro. So that makes sense.
And last guy, maybe not a winner, but he could get you a buck.
Last guy could get you a buck. Is it Adrian Dantley? It's Adrian Dantley.
It's Adrian Dantley. Clean it up, man.
Efficiency king. Efficiency king. That's a good question. All right, Logan. Jaden Daniels, who we know is an ASU legend, went to ASU when we were there, practically our best friend, will be drafted this year, maybe in the top 3, very possibly in the top 3. Can you name 5 other ASU quarterbacks drafted since the merger? ASU, not LSU, because we know where Jaden's heart is. It's in Tempe.
Dude, his rookie season was so spectacular. I remember saying at the time...
They call it freshman in college.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I thought that Jaden was... I literally said at the time, I was like, dude, Jaden's a future first-round QB. That take was based on how efficient he was, how good he was at protecting the football, and the fact that I thought that Jaden was going to bulk up more.
He's so slight.
I am really not a big Jaden Daniel guy in the pros. I think that, to me, my quarterback comp for Jaden Daniels is Pat White. I don't know if you remember Pat White out of West Virginia, but...
Yeah, in 2006, of course. I remember him so well.
Pat could scramble. He had a live arm, but he got licked by Ike Taylor in a preseason game and never played another snap because he got concussed out of the league. And I love Jaden. I hope he is super successful. I am rooting for him. I think that boy is going to get broken in half by some of these NFL guys.
Yeah, it's concerning. He literally weighs like 180 pounds.
It's really concerning. So
I know that he's listed as heavier than that, but he's very, very slight.
We're going to go Jake Plummer.
Jake Plummer, of course. Shout out.
I don't know if these guys were drafted. We're going to give it a shot. I'm going to say Andrew Walter.
Mm-hmm. Third rounder.
I am going to say, did Danny White get drafted?
Danny White sure did get drafted.
I'm going to say Marquise Tuiasosopo. Did he get drafted?
No, didn't he go to Washington?
That guy went to Washington. That guy, what am I talking about? That guy went to Washington. I just think about him with Andrew Walter.
That guy. Disrespectful.
Brock Osweiler.
There you go. So now you just got one more. That's all you need.
And
there's one name I'm looking at, and he was drafted in 1980, so it's a throwback. But I know you know him. Do you know he went to ASU? I think so.
Does he know?
Does he know? We're about to find out.
Are there any more guys, any more recent than that?
I mean, yeah, but not who I think you're going to get. I know you know this guy because he played somewhere near and dear to your heart.
Mark Malone.
There you go. There you
Bang!
Go.
Let's go.
I fed him. That was a lob. I should have let you toil for a little bit longer. Sicko, right. Mark Malone.
Carson, this is one of the tougher ones on this list because of the throwback names, but again, I have seen you do the impossible. If you can pull Terry Tyler, I have full confidence you can pull these names.
All right.
We did this with Wemby. We're going to do it with Chet. Can you name every top 3 pick in Sonic/Thunder franchise history? This is not just post-merger. Pre-merger is included.
All right. So Harden goes number 3 in 09. Obviously, we have Chet.
Mm-hmm.
We have Kevin Durant going second in 07.
In order right now. You have one more guy post-merger.
That's it? It's only Gary Payton?
And now we are pre-merger. We have entered the danger zone.
Jeez. Wow. Damn, there's some dudes who were close. Like, I think X-Man went 4th. Russ went 4th.
Yeah. These guys all drafted with the number 3 pick.
Okay. My first thought, I'm letting it rip, is Bob Rule on this list.
Oh! He pump faked me! He
pump faked me! I hit you with the Big Ben?
I thought
it sounds like Bob Rule.
Oh my God, dude. I literally just thought, I know you know this guy's name, so I just thought you were going to roll into it. It's not Bob Rule.
But it's Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bob Boozer played for the Sonics.
Bob Rule out of Riverside, California, was drafted 7th overall in the second round of 67 by the Sonics, so it's a good guess.
I just knew he had a great year in Seattle.
Another Robert.
Is it Robert or Bob?
He goes by Bob in NBA circles, but he is a Robert.
Okay.
Nicknamed
for the Sonics. Is it Bob Kaufman?
Yeah,
in Seattle
buddy.
Buffalo?
Yeah, buddy.
Bro, I have talked about Bob Kaufman way too much in my lifetime.
Okay, I know
6 years in the NBA. Bob Kaufman,
Tell him.
three-time All-Star.
Tell him.
Sucked every other year. Sucked in Seattle, sucked in Atlanta. But when you put that man in Buffalo, he was nice. Why? The Braves sucked.
Wow, this guy Carson, you would not remember at all for being a Seattle Supersonic.
Oh,
Is
okay.
a prominent figure, somewhat prominent figure in NBA history. I know you know him. Won a NBA title in his second season with the team that he was moved to after Seattle.
So he was traded after 1 year.
And I'm trying to figure out what exactly he was drafted with the third pick. He was traded with Bob Boozer for Zaid Abdulaziz, formerly known as Donald A. Smith.
Zaid Abdulaziz. I don't think I know who that is, but I'm thinking about where else Bob Boozer played. So it has to be that this guy was a Laker.
Nope.
No?
Won a title in the 70s, though, immediately after being traded. Awesome name, this guy. Just sick name. So cool.
I was sure that he was a Laker because Bob Boozer was a Laker and they won a title.
A point guard, this guy.
Okay.
On the title team, got 19 minutes per game. Well, this guy would go on to play for the Lakers for 2 seasons in 74 and 75. Would actually get traded from this team to L.A. For Jim Price.
Oh my God, he was in the famous Jim Price trade. The last-ditch effort to keep Kareem around. Jim Price, Bucks and Lakers legend, Hoop Grid legend. Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, what legend?
Hoop Grid?
No, go back. Who did he play
Bucks.
for? Maybe that might be where you remember this guy for.
Yeah.
This guy went to UCLA. Don't know if that helps you.
Oh, Lucius Allen.
Okay, Lucius Allen. The last guy, Carson, is by far the toughest name on this list. I've never heard you say him, but again, I have seen you do the impossible. This guy shares a name with a very mid-receiver in the 2000s. He is now an NFL analyst. He shares a last name with this guy.
Shares a last name. Okay. I wonder if I can get him on his basketball resume as opposed to thinking about all the random receivers of the 2000s.
NC State, 3rd overall pick in 1974.
Okay.
Nicknamed the Newland Needle. Not sure why.
Is he from somewhere named Newland?
No, actually he's not. This guy played for the Sonics, played for the Kansas City Kings, and played for the Atlanta Hawks. Retired in 1981 at the age of 28, was 7'2", 225 pounds.
Whoa, absolute unit.
Yeah.
7'2", 225.
And the only reason I give you the last name is I've only heard one other guy with this last name, that being the receiver in the mid-2000s. That guy played for the Lions, the Vikings, and the Seahawks.
Lions, Vikings, and Seahawks.
Those are the
Nate
spots.
Burleson? Tom Burleson?
Holy shit! Yes!
That was in there somewhere.
Wow,
I don't know much
man.
about Tom Burleson.
Wow.
Tom Burleson never made an appearance on a hoop grid.
My
Wow.
socks have been knocked off.
Top 3 pick. Shout out to him. Okay, Logan, we're taking a break with the draft, and we're actually done with the draft stuff until the bonus question. Which of these beloved movie/TV stars appeared in a Super Bowl? Terry Crews, Carl Weathers, Fred Dreyer, or O.J. Simpson?
Obviously, famed TV star O.J. Simpson.
Yes, beloved. Beloved, Logan, is the key word there.
I don't believe it's O.J. I don't believe it's... Who was the first guy you named?
The first guy named was Terry Crews.
Terry Crews was a special teamer on the Chargers and the Chiefs. I think he played for the Chiefs. I know he played for the Chargers. So it's not going to be Terry. Who's the third guy you named?
Terry Crews also played for the Rams. The third guy I named was Carl Weathers and Fred Dryer were the other two. Carl Weathers.
I don't know who
R.I.P.,
Fred Dryer
man.
is. I think that Carl Weathers did it either with the Eagles or the Giants.
Is not Carl Weathers.
Really? Rest in peace, too. Carl Weathers just passed away.
I know. Rest in peace. It is actually Fred Dryer.
Who did Fred Dryer, and what did he do in TV? I'm actually not familiar at all with this guy.
I wasn't familiar with Fred Dryer either, but I looked up dudes who were in movies. He was actually a stud for the Rams throughout the 70s. Logan, we got to add this guy to our knowledge bank. 15 sacks in 74, led the league unofficially. 103 career unofficial sacks. That's the thing. He gets shafted because he doesn't have those stats. And he was the star of Hunter. Or I don't know if he was the star, but he was certainly a star. I think that maybe he was the star. Yeah, he was the star. Sergeant Rick Hunter made an appearance on Cheers. There you go. Fred Dryer.
Shout out the boy Fred Dryer. Okay, Carson, this is one of...
hold on. Let me just get this straight. We're always talking about Deacon Jones and Merlin Olsen.
Yeah,
Fred
man.
Dryer was right there along with them producing.
Give him some props. Yeah, Deacon took all the shine, man.
Yeah.
Or if we spin this, he was a Deacon Jones merchant. But maybe.
He could have been a Deacon Jones merchant. Think about who was eating up all the double teams opposite him. And you had Merlin on the inside.
Maybe Deacon Jones and
Christmas
Merlin...
every day for Fred Dryer.
Maybe Deacon Jones and Merlin Olsen were Fred Dryer merchants.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Come on.
Who knows?
Settle down. Yeah. Settle down.
What came first, the chicken or the egg, man? Carson.
Fred Dryer.
This is my favorite question maybe I've ever come up with, man. This is the intersection of Wemby and Chet. Carson, I need you to name every season where multiple rookies have averaged over 2 blocks per game. Can you identify the season and the 2 rookies?
Wow. That is electric. Okay. I'm thinking about great draft classes in terms of bigs. My first thought, I don't love, but I'm going to let it rip. Emeka Okafor and Dwight Howard in 2005.
Unfortunately incorrect. I will tip you off about something. Yeah. So,
okay, well, I got one. Zoe and Shaq in 1993.
That's correct. They both averaged over 3, funnily enough. 3.5 exact, both of them. Let me see where Emeka averaged 1.7. That's not a bad guess at all. And Dwight, 1.7 as well. They are just on the cusp.
Knocking on the door. Let's think about other classes dominated by bigs. Well, I'm wondering, based on the fact that you told me to keep Benoit Benjamin in mind earlier, he's got to appear at some point. But I'm thinking about with who? Because I want to say that he was in the 88 rookie class.
You're close.
Okay, so now I'm pretty sure that it was him and David Robinson.
David Robinson,
not?
It's not. One of the maybe the most prolific rookie shot blocker ever.
Maybe. Is it Manute and Benoit Benjamin?
Manute and Benoit Benjamin in 86. And I'll tip you off about something. You only have one duo post-2000. And we know who that is.
Oh, yeah, Wemby and Chet. Duh.
So, everybody else, 3 duos to go. Everybody else is pre-2000.
All right. I want to cook here, dude. I love this question. I love what you've done here, Logan. So I'm thinking about the great rookie classes. 1984 brings us a lot of studs, but it doesn't bring us another great shot-blocking big alongside Akeem Olajuwon.
Does it? Maybe not the longest career.
Oh my God, it's Sam Bowie and Hakeem.
Sam Bowie and Hakeem do it, man, in 85.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay, now let's think about some other draft classes.
5 guys within 4 years of one another.
Within 4 years. Okay.
In the 90s.
Oh, in the 90s. I was going to look back to like the late 70s because I was thinking block numbers were great then. Oh. Well, we're going to have, are we? I want to say Dikembe and somebody. Is Dikembe with somebody?
Dikembe actually isn't here. Let's see who would have been the closest cohort of his. Dikembe is a rookie, averaged 3.
Yeah.
In 1992. The next closest in 92 is nobody. Nobody's up here with Dikembe, unfortunately.
Okay. I don't know if I love this, but I'm going to throw it out there. Marcus Camby, I imagine, did do this. Did Sharif Abdur-Rahim do it with him?
Oh my god! Wow, Carson, you just made me find another duo. Camby is here with somebody else and a guy with an alliterative name. So my bad on that.
Another guy in the '96 class. I'm thinking about, there's a lot of all-stars in that class, but most of them are perimeter players.
Yeah, Camby is here with another gentleman who got drafted to an expansion franchise. Not a legend or a power forward, actually, this guy.
Ooh.
Wow, this is the only season he averaged. Wow, this guy had a weird career.
Interesting.
Dude, he only played. This guy only appeared in 70 total games after playing in all 82 his rookie season.
Oh my God, that's a really hard pull. I'm not going to focus on that for right now.
Yeah.
So we're sticking in the 90s.
Everybody's in the 90s between, 5 years of one another, 3 duos to go.
I wonder if we get C-Web and somebody else. C-Web and somebody else in the 93 draft.
These guys, I believe, were both top 3 picks.
Is it Sean Bradley?
It's Sean Bradley and C-Web. That's a good pull, man. So the next two legendary rookie shot blockers and a pretty obscure guy alongside him.
Okay.
I've never heard of the
rookie shot blockers.
I've never heard of one of these guys.
Okay. So we're still looking 90s for all of these?
Yes, these guys actually back-to-back draft classes, Carson.
Okay. So I'm thinking about if we could have Duncan and somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And that is a weirdo. I've never heard of this guy.
Duncan and a weirdo.
Nicknamed Yogi, apparently, went to Cal.
Oh my God. Hold on. Well, I'm going to get this if he went to Cal.
This guy was undrafted.
There's no way this guy played enough games. It's not Sean Marks, is it?
No, this guy was undrafted. He's a California boy through and through. Went to John F. Kennedy in Sacramento, California. Went to Cal.
My God.
And then was drafted by the Sacramento Kings.
Dude, there were so many good Bears in the 90s. KJ, Jason Kidd, unfortunately both bad guys. Lamont Murray. Like, they just produced dudes. And if he's a Cal guy, even though this is obviously before I was alive, I should still know him.
Yeah, I don't blame you for not knowing him. Again, he was undrafted. He was born in France. And a fascinating basketball resume, this guy. His father shares the exact same name as him. And he was born in San Francisco and went to Santa Clara. Kind of a basic name.
Kind of a basic name.
2 first names, actually, this guy.
We're looking at the 96 draft, which I should know pretty well. And then we're looking at the 97 draft.
Well, like I said, this guy wasn't drafted, so you probably just kind of have to know if he...
right.
That's what's tough
Cal
about
Bear.
this guy.
What are his initials?
MS.
MS. A Cal Bear. Can I get a shout out to Makuri Sanders Frison? A great Cal Bear of the early 2010s.
Very basic first name. Very common. Probably starts with an M.
Matt.
I probably know 6 or 7 guys with his first name.
Oh, Michael.
And his last name he shares with a tiny mouse.
Michael Little.
What's the mouse's first name?
Oh, Stewart? Michael Stewart.
Michael Stewart is the Cal Bear. So it's Michael Stewart and Tim Duncan in 1998. And the last guy, Marcus Camby, and a guy with an alliterative name, Double R.
I'm shocked that there was a Cal Bear who I didn't know, but I guess if he only played in 150 career games in the 90s, I can't beat myself too much about that. Okay.
This guy played 290 in the 90s. The other guy is the guy who only played 150. 82 in his first year, and then 70 more the rest of the way. Played with the Vancouver Grizzlies, where this would probably be the only spot you know him with, and briefly with the Celtics, the Raptors, and the Nuggets. You have to know him with the Grizzlies.
I thought that was the Cal guy. I'm getting all mixed up in my head now.
This guy out of Alabama was taken 22nd overall in the 96 draft. Again, Double R.
I really want this one.
I want you to get it, man.
Bama also had some really good NBA dudes in the 90s. McDyess, Latrell
Again,
Sprewell.
alliterative
Robert
name.
Horry.
Double R. I don't know if that will help you. His last name he shares with a very wholesome TV character in the 60s and 70s.
Is it Roy Rogers?
Yes, it is, man.
Let's go.
Well done, Carson. That is every rookie duo to have two guys in the same draft class with over 2 blocks per game, man. Well done.
Boom. Boom. All right, Logan, your last question before we get to the bonus is a fun one. Can you name the top 5 kickers by field goals made who were born internationally?
Ooh.
Yeah, you can.
Stenerud.
Yes, dude, number 5. I mean, you didn't start on the lowest difficulty there.
Was Seabass international, Janikowski?
Seabass was born in Poland, yeah.
How long was this guy there? What about... Oh, damn, what's a Dolphins guy? The guy that fumbles the ball. You know what I'm talking about? In the Super Bowl?
I don't think I do.
It's one of the most iconic Super Bowl plays of all time. It's the Washington versus Miami. I thought he was going to screw up the undefeated season. What's that guy's name?
Oh. Well, it's not him.
He's he's infamously a Super Bowl legend for all the wrong reasons.
Let's see who that fellow was. The Dolphins kicker back in 72. Oh, Garo Yepremian.
Yeah, Garo Yepremian. Is he here?
Yepremian. No, he's not here. But Cyprus, man. Shout out.
Is Morten Andersen here?
Morten Andersen is number 1.
Where was he born? Finland?
Denmark. There's a strong Scandinavian to
is Gary Anderson
pipeline.
Here?
Gary Anderson from South Africa.
Did not know he was international either, so we got one guy to go. Is it Justin Tucker's not international, is he?
And Justin Tucker's from Texas.
Shout out.
The last one is the toughest, dude. Not only do I not know who this guy is, his name doesn't so clearly indicate that he is international. He was a long-time kicker for the Chiefs from 1980 to 93, then with the Jets, with the Pats before that. You may not know this guy.
Jets and Pats before the Chiefs?
Jets after, Pats before.
How long was he with New York?
94 to 96 he was there.
And then he retired?
At
what age?
He was 40.
What's funny is, I'm probably going to have heard of this guy because, you kick that long, you have to be on some of the all-time, scoring lists.
This guy was born in Munich. But I don't know if he's really German or if he was just born there, if perhaps his parents were serving overseas or something. So his dad was a pilot.
Can you give me his initials?
Wait, is that accurate? His dad was actually a European affairs analyst.
It's not Jeff Wilkins, is it?
No, his initials are NL. Wow, his mom was born and raised in Egypt.
That made me think of Neil Rackers, but it is NL.
Most accurate kicker in NFL history is what he says. I wonder if at the time of his retirement that was true. He led the league in field goal percentage 3 times. He was almost 50% from 50-plus yards, which back in those days was unheard of.
Nathan.
It's Nick. Nick is his first name.
Nick Long?
Shares his last name with an NBA player with some notable physical feature. I actually don't know if that's how this guy's last name is pronounced, but that's going to be your hint.
Nick Livingston?
No. I would not consider the best mid-range jumper in NBA history a physical feature per se. This one's a bit more eye-catching. It might make you go, "Auga!"
No way. Nick Lowry.
Yes. Could be pronounced Lowry. Could be pronounced any number of ways. I'm sorry, I don't know. I've never heard it out loud, but that is the list.
I'm adding him to the bag, man.
Add him to the kicker bag.
Oh, man. I had to look up what that meant for a minute.
You had to look up what meant.
It says on his Wikipedia page he won the Whizzer White NFL Man of the Year award. And I went, whoa, why are we crowning the White Man of the Year award?
Hold on a second.
It's
in
named
February too, bro? Come on.
It's named after NFL player, Whizzer White.
That makes sense.
We had to clear. Carson, unfortunately, I am out of questions for you.
Oh, well, I have a bonus question for you, buddy. So get ready for that.
I will buckle up.
All right. So the theme of the day has been the draft. And we've asked a question about every other quarterback on the top of draft boards. The big three, Caleb Williams and USC and transfers, and Drake May and UNC and Jaden Daniels and his ASU ties.
Question.
Yeah, you're goddamn right I am. Can you name the last quarterback drafted from Michigan?
It's not Denard Robinson. Does he not count?
It's not. Denard Robinson, was he drafted?
Yeah, but I think he was drafted as a corner or a running back.
Yeah, so he was drafted as a running back. Either way, there is a guy more recent.
It's not Rudock, is it? Did Rudock go to Michigan?
Cleaned up. It's Jake Rudock, man.
Let's go.
6th rounder in 2016. Attempted 5 career passes. Took Logan about 8 seconds. Bro, Jake Rudock's nickname is just Dad. That's what it says on Pro Football Reference. Jacob Michael Rudock, parentheses, Dad.
Shout out to my boy Angelo. That is the only reason I have any idea who the hell Jake Rudock is, man.
Props. Let's pull up his college stats real quick.
Big dude, though. I want to say Rudock was like 6'5" or something. He's a tank.
Spent 1 year at Michigan after being at Iowa, threw 20 touchdowns to 9 picks.
Damn.
6'3", 212.
I thought he was bigger than that.
Yeah.
20 TDs, 9 picks. Is he even in the league anymore? No.
I just said that. Of course he's not in the league. He was drafted 8 years ago now, buddy. Get with the times.
My boy's been accepted into the University of Michigan School of Medicine, though, man.
Let's go. When? How long ago?
2021. So he's been in the program 3 years.
Long way to go still to being a doctor. We're rooting for you, Jake.
Yeah. Dr. Jake Rudock, man.
Yeah, seriously. All right, that's going to do it for us here today, folks. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, as we said at the top, there's more trivia content always on our social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. But you can also check out the Trivia Gauntlets on our YouTube page. And if you want our full shows, where we talk basketball mostly now, but also some football, you can watch all of those with video on our YouTube page, and you can listen to the podcast across audio platforms. You can check out our merch. We both are wearing the hats today. Ooh, don't those look so nice? Don't you want one of those? Well, they're over at thevolume.com, along with these flags behind us. Oh my God. And you can get shirts. You can get hoodies. What? You know where to find all that. And you can join our Discord if you want a chance to speak to Matthew Spawnhour. Matthew Spawnhour is in the Nerd Sesh Discord. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and if I were you, I would not miss it. The link to that is at our link tree across our social media bios. So with that, as always, appreciate you guys. I've been Carson Brabber.
I've been Logan Camden.
And this was Nerd Sesh.